What's going on, everyone? It's Lawrence from financialthing.com, of course, back with the peer-to-peer lending live stream on a Thursday. Oh, look at the hair. The hair's all crazy today. That was the way I woke up this morning, a little bit late, kind of disheveled. It happens sometimes. But in any case, here as always, please hit that thumbs up if you can, so I don't have to nag you through the stream to do it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Welcome to everybody that's watching in the future. Don't forget, Tuesday, we do a crypto and a stock live stream. Thursday next week. Let me see, April 7th. Put it on your calendar if you haven't already. We will be here with Mr. Stuart Law from Assets Capital Live, talking all about what's going on over there. I'm going to ask him about, things that are going on in my own account. With some of the loans that don't seem to be performing too well. And we're going to talk about their impact report, too, that they put out in January, which is got a bunch of information in there about UK housing. Look at those pretty houses. Those are really nice. We're going to talk about their numbers and what their impact has been like in the peer-to-peer lending world. There's Mr. Stewart. So looking forward to speaking with him next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. UK time, 2:30 p.m. US Eastern time. And today we are going to be, what time is it? We're going to be talking a lot of peer-to-peer lending today about Crowd Property and their new product that they have launched. Talk a little bit about ISAs, what's going on over at Collateral. Fintech report that was put out by the Cambridge University. It's quite a long report if you're into reading things about fintech. And some other new stuff. And also some assets exchange information. Gonna look in their dashboard and see what's going on. Some of the deals that they have available. If there is anything at the moment, I haven't checked recently, but just take a look at what's going on in their dashboard. I was going to do a Loanpad update, but I forgot to pull it up. Let me pull it up here. See what's going on at Loanpad. They've been getting some really good press recently from Fourth Way, saying the things that I've been echoing about Loanpad being a good place to put your money. Safe, relatively safe place. Let's take a look and see what's going on, and we'll take a look at their live data. Whoops. See what's going on. Let me zoom in. See if there's been any change. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. Let's say hi to everybody in the stream, of course. Doing things on the fly today. Let's see. Who's here today? Say hi. Tell me where you're speaking from. Robert Pates is here in Greece. I wish I could say hello in Greek. I don't know how. Spanish, yes, but Greek, no. Colin Perry in the Peak District. David Dawson from Staffordshire. Alan Brooks is in a very chilly pinner in Middlesex. Vest 22. I do not believe you're in the Kremlin. Stephen Hale in Nottingham. Paul in Stockport. Paul B in Kenilworth. Peter Vince in an always chilly Leatherhead. It seems to be a reoccurring theme over there in Leatherhead that it's a chilly place to live. It's very hot here in Orlando. I think we're seeing about 27, 28 degrees. It's some cooler evenings, so it's been nice. Dave Allard in the Midlands. Alabama Nyron, of course, in Spain. John Morgan and a cold Swindon. George Batchelor in Bridlington. Brian in Woburn. Mike Powell is here, of course, in Southampton. A little bit late, and a slap on the wrist. 4 minutes, Mike. Maybe it's 3 minutes with the delay. Again, thanks for joining. Let's take a look at what's going on Loanpad. Just do a quick update, as I like to do from time to time, because it's one of my preferred places to stash away some safe funds, I think. Still not quite getting the inflation beating interest from them, but as far as safety goes, I think you're pretty good putting money in Loanpad at the moment. So 134 live loans, average loan to value 43%. They got 55 million on the books now, so it's getting up there. I could see that being 100 million within 12 months, which is a sizable amount. We got the average loan size of just 415,824 pounds, very manageable. Average lender has got 15,236 pounds of their hard-earned cash. And again, importantly, estimated time to sell, estimated time to invest, both at less than 1 day. So proving that liquidity is still an important factor in Loanpad. And 9 lending partners, that interest coverage fund still at 42,000. Loanpad has, since inception, 255 loans have passed through the system, 101 million pounds. So 121 of those 255 loans repaid. That's a sizable number of repayments. And just goes to show you that what Louis has got going on over there is working very efficiently. Yes, so there you go. That's what's going on Loanpad. Next, let's hit some news. UK is labeled the gold standard of peer-to-peer lending. This is not really surprising. But for everybody that's patriotic about their fintech, the UK's peer-to-peer lending sector has been labelled as the gold standard of peer-to-peer despite recent platform exits and changing regulation. This is Lee Burkett, founder of Just Us, called the UK's peer-to-peer sector the gold standard. I like that. It's a very powerful statement. Even though we've lost to retail lending, funding circles open, lending works, collective lending. So, Rate Setter, of course. So the big three have all gone, but still continues to be a factor here in the UK, peer-to-peer lending. German asset manager Nord IXAG is seeking out investments in UK peer-to-peer lending platforms through a new allocation with a minimum commitment of £4.19 million per platform. So, it looks like money is floating around looking to be invested, and peer-to-peer, the UK is a target for these asset managers. So good news. I think that this is going to be an important year for peer-to-peer lending as far as, I still think we'll see maybe that contraction still of the industry of, again, the companies that just don't have enough of a profit margin or are unable to be funded enough to continue to survive, contract, but the strong players in the industry, the ones that, for instance, we talk about a lot on the stream, will continue to grow. And you might see some new players, a couple of new ones, maybe planned. We'll have a important year for them to launch, and we may see one or two new companies coming into the sector to really support what's going on in peer-to-peer lending. Good article, though. Landlord Invest partners with Octopus Real Estate for London real estate development. Landlord Invest has completed its first mezzanine loan. For anybody who doesn't know, mezzanine is a second charge loan. We're going to talk about that too, because that's something that's coming up a lot. Now, we talked about it with Shojin about second charge loans. There possibly being some good deals in peer-to-peer lending. I've always been very skeptical of second charge lending. It depends on the loan itself, and whoever's issuing it, making sure that they do the correct due diligence. But you can get some really good interest rates from second charge lending. But you just have to remember that you are in second place. So if something goes wrong with the loan and that loan was not underwritten well, or the values were not done correctly, then that second charge loan is probably going to get wiped out. So you do take more risk, definitely, in some cases. Landlord Investors completed its first second charge loan mezzanine loan with Octopus Real Estate. You know, I'm a big fan of Octopus. It's a shame Octopus Choice also decided to close their doors, but Octopus as a company is still very solid. They are funding the development of a 5-story building in London. £6.2 million is the senior and mezzanine loan. So landlord investors supplying £300,000. It's going to be 24 apartments with 6 affordable ones in Barking Road, London. I don't know what that means as far as affordable. Does that mean? I didn't think anything in London was really affordable, but maybe there's some cap on what those 6 apartments are going to cost. The development has a gross GDV, gross development value of £8.4 million. And the clients are experienced developers who've successfully completed several similar schemes in and around London. But remember, again, this is going to be a second charge loan. I'd actually like to get Philip from Landlord Invest here on the stream. Somebody that I want to talk to about what he has going on at that company. They seem to be making good progress. So, but they have done other deals, I think, with other peer-to-peer lending platforms. So Philip says, we receive a lot of second charge inquiries from developments. We chose the best high-quality deals that are suitable natural fit. We've been doing second charge deals, this is Landlord Invest, successfully for the past 5 years, and will continue these as long as it offers good risk reward. This is very important. Again, you know, it shows that hopefully Landlord Invest has a good hold on second charge mezzanine lending, because it is very, very specialized and can be very difficult to pull off. I've seen some other peer-to-peer lending companies do it and not do it well. So more second charge lending here. Crowd Property has launched a mezzanine finance brand called CP Capital, and that is for property developers. It will allow property professionals to access project funding that has not been met by the senior debt finance market. So a lot of times when these property developers borrow money on a first charge, they can only get about anywhere from 65 maybe to 80% of their total costs, which means they have this gap. Some of them use their own funds to fill the gap. Other developers use mezzanine financing to cover that gap to get maybe up to 90 or 90% or 95% of their total cost. So Crowd Property is launching a new product to offer developers, which will be second charge lending. Loan terms will last from 3 to 24 months, and loan values will range between £50,000 and £1 million. So, quite sizable loans. Would-be borrowers would have at least 5 years experience in property development and planning permission, or permitted development plans would be in place. Rates are expected to work out at between 1.3 and 1.83% per month, depending on the level of debt and other factors. Pretty interesting. You can go to Crowd Property's website if you want to read the press report, but a lot of people here like Crowd Property and what they've done over the past couple of years. So this is another way to get money deployed through Crowd Property's platform, and I think it's going to be a separate platform, that you'll have to sign up for. Actually, let me say that again. If you already had a Crowd Property account, you'll be able to use CP Capital without having to sign up for a new account, because I just did it today. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Hang on 1 second, let me log in. There's not really much in the back and right now, but this is CP Capital's website. Maybe, hopefully you can see that. If you click on live projects here, everything is coming soon. But I did want to take a look at the frequently asked questions to find out some things. We'll probably get Mike to come on the stream maybe and talk about this. So if we go to the investor frequently asked questions, can you invest in an ISA? Yes. Can you invest via a limited company? Yes, you can. Important. Can I sell my CP Capital loans on a secondary market? There is no secondary market on the CP Capital platform. So once you put your funds in, they are committed. Is there an auto invest? No. Is it safe to invest in second charge products? Well, that depends. Depends on the loan. Of course, the investment is not guaranteed. Maximum is £25,000. Minimum is going to be £1,000. When is interest paid? The majority of projects repay interest at the end of the loan term. However, some projects do repay monthly interest. So there you go. It's going to be open to experienced investors. In order to invest, you must classify as a high net worth or sophisticated investor, which I did today. Basically, you just have to answer, I think it's about 10 questions. It's not too much screening, honestly, and they're not difficult questions. So, yeah, that's what's going on with CP Capital. So, again, another place to deploy your funds. And a lot of people are always asking, is there any other places to put money? Just be aware, you know, obviously second charge lending is quite different to what you're going to get through Crowd Properties regular products, which is first charge lending. And, you know, I've personally not really, I think out of all the peer-to-peer lending I've ever done, I've maybe done 5% second charge. For me personally, the extra interest rate has to really be a lot to take on the risk, because I do consider it quite a lot more risky. It's a funny article here. 6 reasons why you should invest in an IFISA. This was a paid article, but the one thing about the article, it didn't say anything about actually being tax-free. That might be the most important number one reason. I mean, that would have been the title I would have written. It's tax-free. But it didn't say that at the beginning. Capital rises covering IFISA transfer fees. If you want to put one of your you want to put one of your peer-to-peer ISAs and move it to Capital Rise, maybe you got an ISA with Lending Works or Zopa or one of those companies, they will pay for the fee to move it up to £50. So they're trying hard, Capital Rise, to get your ISA into their hands so you can make extra cash. Collateral Liquidator proposes investor payments framework and appeals deadline. This is BDO, Collateral's administrator. They have applied for court permission to set up a framework to administer interim investor payouts, including a deadline for appeals. BDO has been talking with the liquidation committee. That's a small group of investors and creditors who formed a committee to represent investors and creditors. They want to talk about the possibility of making interim distributions to investors from the client money account and the loan accounts. I mean, I don't know how much is there. BDO said it cannot confirm the final payouts yet, as it needs to realize the remaining assets of the collapsed peer-to-peer lender, as well as confirm the final cost of liquidation. So, and remember, the Curry brothers, are going to go to court April next year for criminal charges, how they have mishandled this company, and possible criminal charges will be handed down to them with a quick strike of the gavel. Be off with you to jail. Again, you can see the peer-to-peer lenders vying for £500 million of Zopa and Funding Circle's IFISA money. These peer-to-peer companies want that cash. All of those ISAs are going to have to be moved out of Funding Circle and Zopa. The peer-to-peer lending companies want that cash. They want those ISAs moved over. You got Assets Capital. They were quick off the mark in December And they said, we're happy to accept those IFISAs. Folk to folk. Don't know anything about them. Just does. And invest and fund. I don't know why they've decided to just focus on these particular 5, but of course there's plenty of other places you can move your ISA to. UK peer-to-peer lending volumes increased by 120% last year. Well, what's misleading about that is in 2020, the volumes really dropped a lot, by 40%. So, 120% seems like a lot for 2021. And that's certainly a good sign, but it also comes on the back of reduced lending on 2020 because of the vid. It's still a good sign. And this comes off of the 36H group, which published a document. Here you can, I'll put a link in the description. You can go read this if you want. It's got some information about the top 10 peer-to-peer lending platforms for 2021. Assets Capital being number 1. Let me zoom in here so you can see it. This is cumulative loans written up to December 31st of 2021. So we've got Assets Capital, 1.4 billion. That's cumulative. Folk to folk, 500 million pounds. Crowd Property, 177 million. Kuflink, 156 million. Invest and Fund seems to have somehow been put at number 5 instead of number 4 with 161. Somebody made a boo-boo. Then we got Prop Lender, 143, Arch Over at 119, and so on. And then Lending Crowd down here at number 10. Also closed their doors to retail peer-to-peer lending at the moment. Let's see. Assets Capital was up 35% on their lending volume. Folk to Folk completed 62% more loans than in 2019. And Crowd Property finished an impressive 150% higher than in 2021. I think the police are coming for me. So, yeah, some interesting information on here. Again, I'll put the link in the description when we're done. I wanted to look at the savings rate, too. No, not really peer-to-peer, just a little break. We'll do some more peer-to-peer stuff. But you can see things here starting to come over 1% now. I never thought I would get excited about seeing 1% in a savings account. It's still pretty poor. But it's better than what we were getting before. But I think Mike Powell had put in our Facebook group about this Chase account. And they're offering a 1.5% interest rate on savings, which is really good compared to what we're getting now. Chase is a very, very big bank in the US, so definitely reputable. One of the big super banks here. You can get 1.49% gross, 1.5% AER paid monthly. You have to open a current account to get the savings account, but you don't need to use it. This 1.5% interest I don't think will last long. I think it'll be something that maybe after 6 months reduces to whatever the other competitive rates are, maybe 1%. But if you got some cash that you are sitting on, which I don't know why you would, but if you have a lot of extra cash, you bung it in here. They have something else interesting too. See if I can find it. If you go to their current account, they have this thing called Roundup, which is funny. There you go. They will round up your spare change. So and give you 5% interest on your Roundup balance. So if you say spend £19 and 20p on something, they're going to round it up to £20, and then they'll pay you 5% interest on your roundup amount. So it's a really a really creative way to get people into Chase's products, because I think Chase is probably a newer company in the UK. Well, if you buy a lot of stuff, I mean, you know, why not get 5% on the roundup amount? So I used to do a roundup through a company called Acorns, and I think I was rounding up about £30 a month total. So, you know, you're going to get 5% if you spend. You're going to get 5% on the roundup through Chase. So they have a good product. I mean, it's some pretty good rates to get you in there. So peer-to-peer platforms have formed an international real estate trade association. 7 real estate platforms, including Shojin, Simple Crowdfunding, and British Pearl. I was surprised to see their name. But they have formed the Association of Real Estate Investing Platforms, the AREIP, to establish common market standards in order to build investor trust. They also have an Estonian platform, Reinvest24, Brick App, and a Colo from the Czech Republic, and Max Fund from the Netherlands. That's like NATO for peer-to-peer lending. It's pretty cool. I think they're just trying to create some industry standards, which is proactive. I like that. Mintos has revealed Russia loan repayment prospects. That's going to be tough. They have Mintos has dropped 15% of revenue due to the conflicts that's going out there, and they are concerned about Russian lending companies who will struggle to meet repayments due to international financial sanctions. I mean, again, shame, heart goes out to the people that are involved in that conflict, and you're seeing a run-on effect here into Mintos, which is, I think, based in Estonia. Kogris has entered administration. I have to admit, I really don't know anything about Kogris, but they were connected investors with exclusive property development and hotel investment opportunities. So, seems like there was some pretty decent-sized projects that they were bridging. They had a community of over 7,500 registered investors offering development opportunities in the UK. And then all of a sudden, this gets popped up. This was on March 15th. They have gone into administration. And also, the House crowd had something, maybe a small deal with Kogris, because I was reading about that today. But they have apparently gotten the money back from Kogris, so it's gone into the administration of that. So yeah, another company bites the dust, unfortunately. A little bit of negative news here. A fifth of Asian Pacific countries have banned peer-to-peer lending. There's been a study from the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance. If you really want to read that, you can go to jbs.cam.ac.uk. Type in fintech regulation in the Asia Pacific. So quite a lengthy report. One that I can't say I really wanted to read all the way through it. It's 93 pages. Has some interesting statistics about fintech, what's going on over in Asia, but not all Asian countries like it because of the nature of it being unregulated. I think in some ways people see peer-to-peer lending as a very high-risk product, similar to cryptocurrency, and I think it's grossly misunderstood, particularly over in Asia, possibly the Middle East market. If you want to read that, though, I'll put the link in the description at the end of the stream so you can go check that out. And what else we got? Yeah, let's go in the Let's go into Assets Exchange, take a look at what's going on there. They sent out a really nice email for anybody that's signed up for their email list. I like this. I'm going to read it to you. Pull it up. Boom, 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 boom. I thought this was really cool. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Not every week starts on such a positive note, but yesterday the Assets Exchange team received a great comment from a Golden Lane housing tenant they wanted to share with investors. Thanks to your support, Natasha, an elite disability gymnast, moved into her first home this month, a supported housing property leased and managed by Golden Lane Housing. Natasha said, "Moving out and away from my parents' home is something no one ever thought would be able to happen. I've noticed how much my self-confidence has improved. I feel much more grown up and responsible now, and I've proved to myself that I can do things I never thought possible." She's really excited about having her own place for the first time. She had film night. So I thought that was really nice. You get that feel of, this being a human service that they're offering. And I was checking out her website, natashacoates.co.uk, so you can see here she's a disability gymnast living in one of Assets Exchange's property. I think that's really super cool. So I wanted to go in and kind of see what they have going on here in their back end. Well, £6. Not much available. If you want to buy something, you can buy £6 worth on that one. I know these properties, they go fast, when they put up these deals, but they do have some things in the pipeline coming up. Here's another one, £837. This is the buy and the sell order, so £3,213 for sale. So if you are looking for a place to put your cash, whoops, that's Golden Lane. This is one of their houses. What's going on over here? Nice place, other than the hole in the kitchen. So this is the type of place Natalie is living in. See if they have anything else for sale. Nothing. Yeah, so there's some bits and pieces for sale if you want to deploy your money into Assets Exchange. We have had an interview with Peter Reed from Assets Exchange, which is archived on the website, on the YouTube channel here, so go check that out. Let's see here. This is the House Crowd administration update, which is 52 pages of really intense reading. Statement of affairs. So important numbers here. If we look at from February 24th, 2021 to February 23rd, 2022, there have been 418,136 pounds of realizations. So that's money that's come in. Unfortunately, money that's gone out, 402,819, which left 15,317 pounds in the black. You can see all the fees here just sucking everything out of this administration. The accountant's fees, 14 grand. Consultancy fees, 125,000. IT fees, quite considerable. Legals. And that's, again, just really indicative of what's going on with these administrations. Now, I had invested in one House Crowd project. And I was kind of, I don't remember, honestly, if I picked out this loan or if I've been talking to the House Crowd team and they had been trying to get me to come on board, and I was very, very hesitant. Hence why I only have this one investment. But this was the downs. And this has really been a disaster. Thankfully, I didn't put in much. Outstanding investor capital on this project of the Downs is £9.7 million. And they have a current anticipated capital shortfall of $8.2 million. That is a big loss. They agreed to sell the Downs site for $1.95 million on the 22nd of December 2021. There had been a lot of delays, a lot of issues with planning permission. And they thought the administrator said selling the land was the only realistic option. It's currently forecast that this development site causes a total minimum loss to investors of £8.2 million. I mean, let's get your head around that amount that investors are going to take on the head. And a lot of people out there have way more than I ever put into that investment are really going to get hit hard. So if you're a if you have a House Crowd account, you can read the administrator's update. It's inside of the dashboard. There is information about all the different projects, all the different developments in here, how much is expected to be lost. Yeah, it's just not looking really good, unfortunately. One other thing I want to do, and I know this is not peer-to-peer lending, but I need to do it before the US markets close in this Trading 212 account. I want to make a trade. I'm going to cut a couple of shares loose that I could sit on them for a while. Like this HUD 8 mining's 26% in the red. I just don't have that much into it. I need some cash to buy a stock. So I'm going to cut Palantir. I'm going to take this loss. Yeah, that's a significant percentage loss at 43%. And then the HUD 8 at 26%. But, you know, when you look at these portfolios, you always got to think of it as a whole. You know, even though you're always going to have some wins and some losers, some losses. And these are just, that's just part of the deal. You're not going to win them all in a portfolio for sure. We're going to leave this clean spark alone. Let's pull the cord on this Palantir, because I think it's going to take a long time to come back, and I have something that I think is going to be a better place to put money for the next 2 weeks. So, if you bear with me for a second, how many shares do we have of that? This amount, 53. One thing I hate about Trading 212, you cannot copy and paste. You try to copy and paste anything down here on this left side portfolio, you cannot. You can do it. I don't even know if you can't even do it here. So frustrating. There's no, I don't know if there's a problem with the website or you try to refresh it. But this money is going to go into one other stock that I've owned before. I think may have a good couple of weeks. Again, not financial advice. Please don't copy me. And I cannot copy and paste. So I'm just going to hit a sell order. The total amount. We're going to take that loss. Let's get rid of that. So we took that loss on Palantir. And we're going to take a loss on this HUD 8. Which I would hold this very long term. Sometimes when opportunities come up, you have to ditch some things to make room for something else. Let's refresh that. What are we going to buy? That's the question. We're going to buy some therapeutics company, Bicycle. And this is a trade tip that I got from very knowledgeable investor trader. I did some research on it, and I think this has a decent chance of being a decent trade. Do we have enough? Let's see. 929. I like a little bit more. Let's see what we're gonna do. We need another 500. Let's take sell 500 of this Laredo. So we have quite a big holding of that. Okay. Now I'm gonna take 1,427 pounds, put it in this BCYC. Oh, we missed it today. Oh, I was gonna do this earlier. Look at that, 6% up. That's a shame. Oh well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? No, how much do we have? Can't remember. This is another thing I hate about trading 212. It doesn't let you put in your max. I think it was 1427, right? 1427. So if we can, so it'll let me buy 1427. Let's go. There we go. So here, you saw it live here. See whether this turns out to be, there you go, executed. See if this turns out to be a good trade or not. They're going to be reporting in the next couple of weeks. And the stock's really taken kind of a beating. You see over the last 3 months. This from its high 60 down to 45, so 22% down in the last 3 months. The last time they reported, the stock was up, I think, about 45%. So we'll see what happens on that. And if it doesn't work, wow, we're already 1.13% negative. If it doesn't work, we'll pull the trigger on it. Probably mid-April, exit out, figure out something else. So there you go. That's it. It's a little bit all over the place with that. Hit that thumbs up if you can, if you're enjoying the content. Have a quick read through your comments here. So you have any thoughts about what we chatted about tonight. Everybody remember to read your electricity meters tonight. Our prices are going up 54% tomorrow. Is that really true? 50, that's insane. That's crazy. It's so funny because here in the US, we've just not seen, at least where we are here, we've not seen that go up a lot. Octopus Energy. Yeah, you could get Octopus. Hi, Darren Lefko. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Richard McDougall in Chile, Scotland. Aki Chap is here. Fourth Way, latest Loanpad review, all positive and average LTV of 43%. Yep. CP Capital. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think they know what they're doing. The crowd property guys. Hi, Darren in Cambridge. Crowd property taking a fair amount of flack on forums. Have been topping up loans with second charge loans, and only just told lenders. Doing it for 6 months. That's really concerning. I have to look more into that. Dave, I should have answered all of those questions with the FAQ. Can we get Yan from Blend back on the stream and question him on how inefficient his auto lend feature is? Funds take 3 months to get deployed on a loan. You can email him yourself. I don't know that I'm going to bring him on just to ask him that. But, impact of second charge on existing loan. If a second charge defaults, then can cause issues for the first charge if the property end up as a distressed sale, which for a development can be a big drop. Yeah, totally agree. I think second charges can be problematic. Some companies do second charges well, other ones hit or miss. We obviously crowd property have been getting a lot of demand from borrowers looking for mezzanine financing, so they're just developing a product that they're seeing much demand for. Plus, they have a lot of investors who want to deploy money into more loans. So I would personally tread carefully and let it grow for a few months, see what happens with the first loans. Mike says, no issues with unbolted, fully invested most of the time. Yes. Brian says, with inflation rampant, rates must rise. They must. They should. I think this conflict has really changed probably what you're going to see with interest rate hikes. I mean, I'll give you an example. In the US, they've been talking about tapering subsidies. For the government's been printing money and printing. They talked about tapering. And then Mr. B, the president, asked for another, I think, $5 trillion? There's a lot of money. They asked for more money to be made out of thin air. I always thought that tapering was just a bunch of nonsense. The economic times that we're living in are really on this seesaw brink of just, I don't know, it's very odd. It's very odd to see the stock market doing so well in light of what's going on globally and economically. But there's nowhere else to put your money, so. By the way, thank you to everybody that's a Patreon supporter. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link below. See if there's anything else, and then we're going to get out of here. Brian says, second charge, not for me. Administrator is the real first charge, followed by first and second charges. It's not for everyone. Mr. P is demanding payment in rubles paid to a Russian bank for the gas to the EU, which has caused gas prices to shoot up again. Yeah, I mean, hence the reason I've been invested in oil and LNG, liquid natural gas companies. It's very, very unstable. The U.S. is going to try to fight their high gas, petrol prices here, which aren't really that high in the grand scheme of things. Let's see what that happens. Let's see what happens. Was that the Asia report written by Brian Chang? I don't know, Annabelle. It was written by the Brian Zhang. He was one of the people, yes. I see his name here. There was a bunch of names here. So that is, yes, he was part of that report. A few people talking about Lendwise. I guess you dipped your toe in. Hope you've had a good experience with that. Why not instead back professional private debt funds managed by experienced investors with proper risk management, a long-term track record, plus with a diversified portfolio? You'll make a return of 8%, plus or minus 3%. Never get wiped out. Yeah, sometimes your comments are a little bit delayed, so I'm not quite sure, Paul, what you're talking about. Why not instead back professional debt funds? Nice Irish accent. Was that Irish? Like Paul McDougall, Scotland. Is that better? My accent is not the best. Cufflink's 3-year ISA offers 6% but has a £35 exit fee. Has anyone used? Have comments. Rediversification effectiveness. I don't use their ISA, so what was it about? What was it about Cufflink's ISA? The reason I didn't use it, I can't remember. I don't know. I'm forgetful in my old age. What was it about the ISA? I think at the beginning it was because of the lack of the self-select, but they fixed that now. Just tried to join Lemwise, but won't let me use my joint bank account. Seems strange. Never been stopped by that one before. Dave, have you been a bad boy? Is that why they're flagging you? I think that's going to do it. Anyways, please tell your friends and your family about the stream. If you get a lot out of it, you know, share the information. The more people we can get informed, the better. We'll be back on Tuesday for the stocks and shares and the crypto stream Tuesday evening, and back next Thursday with Stuart Laura of Assets Capital. Thanks to everybody for joining. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there. My mother just got COVID, so it's still out there. So I hope she'll be okay. I hope you're doing okay too. And I really appreciate every single one of you out there. Much love to everybody for listening to me natter for an hour. We did make it under an hour. I don't know. Nobody's giving me any compliments for being under this 1 hour, that we went over an hour so much. And then finally today, 57 minutes. We're going to be out of here at 57 minutes and 50 seconds. This might be a record. So anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.